You were taught to chase stability like it was oxygen. Get the job, lock the salary, secure the benefits. And for a while it works. Bills get paid, life looks organized, people respect you. But no one tells you what happens after the system stabilizes you. Because that's when something strange begins. Not a crisis, not a breakdown. Just a quiet dullness that spreads through your days. You wake up, execute, return, distract, repeat. Nothing is wrong enough to justify change, but nothing feels alive enough to ignore. And the most dangerous part, you start calling that peace. Rafael is 36, public servant, the kind of life his family is proud of. Fixed income, predictable routine, low external risk. He did everything right. And that's exactly the problem. Because Rafael didn't build his life, he optimized for approval. Every decision made sense individually, but together they created something he never questioned, a life with no friction and no direction. There's a psychological mechanism at play here. It's not laziness, it's not lack of ambition, it's sedation through predictability. When your environment removes urgency, your brain stops generating necessity. And without necessity, you don't move. You don't need to. That's how years pass quietly. Rafael feels it in moments he can't explain, like staring at his screen after salary hits and thinking, is this it? Or scrolling through people building things and feeling a mix of curiosity and distance. Not envy. Distance. Like that world isn't for him. So he tells himself a story. This is enough. But it's not satisfaction. It's sedation, and he hasn't realized the cost yet. The shift doesn't come from motivation. It comes from discomfort that finally stays long enough. One night, Rafael is sitting on the couch, TV on, not watching, just noise, and a thought slips through without permission. If nothing changes, this is my life. No drama, no panic, just clarity. And for the first time, stability doesn't feel like protection. It feels like limitation. That's when something cracks. Not externally, internally. He starts noticing patterns he ignored before. How every decision he makes passes through the same filter. Avoid risk, preserve structure, maintain comfort. And suddenly, it becomes obvious. He's not choosing anymore. He's preserving. That's when the concept becomes clear. The sedation loop. You get paid, you relax, you consume, you reset. And because everything is fine, you never interrupt the cycle. It doesn't trap you by force. It traps you by comfort. And comfort, when left unquestioned, becomes control. Breaking this isn't about rebellion. That's where most people fail. They think the solution is to explode their current life, quit, risk everything, chase intensity. But that's just another form of unconscious reaction. The real shift is quieter. It starts with reclaiming tension, because tension is what creates movement. First, you reintroduce intentional discomfort, not suffering, directional friction, doing things that don't have immediate reward, but expand your sense of control. Rafael starts small. He studies something unrelated to his job, not for money, for autonomy. Then he builds something, simple, imperfect, but his. No one cares. That's the point. Because now, for the first time in years, he's acting outside the system that defined him. Second, he separates income from identity. This is where most people get stuck. If your sense of self is tied to your job, any change feels like loss. Rafael realizes he's been introduced as his profession more times than his name. That hits harder than expected, so he starts shifting that internally. He's not his salary. He's someone who can create beyond it. That thought is unstable, but it's real. Third, he measures what he used to ignore. Time. Not in hours worked, but in direction chosen. There's a difference between being busy and moving forward. And for years, he was just busy. A concept reinforced by thinkers like Peter Drucker. Efficiency in the wrong direction is still waste. That lands. Because Rafael was efficient, just not intentional. Fourth, he builds parallel paths, not escape routes, alternatives. He keeps his job, but stops depending on it as the only structure of his life. and something unexpected happens. The job loses weight, not because it changed, but because it's no longer everything. But there's something most people do right here, and it's where everything breaks. They look for fast validation. They want results quickly to justify the discomfort. And when it doesn't come, they retreat. Back to the loop, back to sedation. Because the old system is always available, always easier. If you don't change your relationship with time, you'll always lose to what's immediate. If this is hitting something uncomfortable, there's a reason. Because once you see the loop, you can't unsee it. That's exactly where the Free Your Mind kit comes in. It's not here to motivate you. It's here to expose what's been invisible. The patterns you've been repeating without awareness start becoming clear through the ebook. You begin to recognize behaviors you thought were normal. Then comes the confrontation most people avoid. The real cost of staying the same. The calculator doesn't deal in feelings. It shows you time, money, and freedom translated into numbers you can't ignore. And the deepest layer is identity, because nothing changes if you still see yourself the same way. The audio series works there slowly over 21 days, shifting how you relate to money, control, and action. It's not something you consume. It's something you face. The link is in the description. When you're ready, you'll think your case is different. Stable career, benefits, progression plan. You'll say it's not that bad. And you're right. That's exactly why it's dangerous. Because nothing pushes you to change. So you don't. And years go by without resistance, without questioning, without noticing what's missing. Until one day, there's nothing left to change without starting over. And that's when it feels too late. Not because it is, but because you've been still for too long. Rafael doesn't quit. He doesn't become someone else overnight. He just stops numbing himself with predictability. He starts choosing again. Small things, then bigger ones. And slowly life stops feeling like maintenance and starts feeling like movement. That's the shift. Not external, internal. Because freedom isn't the absence of structure. It's the presence of choice. If this made you uncomfortable, comment loop. That discomfort is clarity trying to break through. And if you want to see beyond what you've been conditioned to accept, this is what Mind of Value is for. No shortcuts, no noise. Just perspective that changes how you play the game. Because the life that feels fine might be the one that's keeping you asleep.